All right. Again, good morning, everyone. The voice you're hearing now is Kathleen Craig. I am the founder and CEO of HT Mobile Apps. We're the creators of Plinkett and Banker Jr. We serve banks and credit unions in 18 states, from asset sizes to 26 million all the way up to over 18 billion. And before founding the company, I was a banker for about $1 billion bank here in Michigan. So we love it. We get to work with banks all over the country of all different sizes. And sometimes we're lucky enough that we really admire those bankers and they become friends of ours. And that is certainly the case with Crystal. We met in 2013, I think, Crystal, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to unmute you so you can also help. And we met at the ABA marketing meeting. And she's been someone that I've admired, that she's always doing cool things at her bank in Missouri. And we're really thankful that she was willing to take the time to make this presentation and share some of the great things their bank is doing with all of you. And we're thankful all of you are taking the time to join us today and to hear what she has to share with us. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my friend and colleague, Crystal. Are you all set? Need anything else?
I think I'm here. Can you see my screen?
We sure can.
Awesome. Thank you for the great introduction. Yes, it was 2013. I believe we were in San Antonio, like having a great time at the ABA conference. So it's been a long time. It's been a long time, and lots of great things have happened since we met. So I'm very proud of our youth savings program here at First State Community Bank. And when Kathleen asked me to come on this webinar, it was just a great opportunity to share what's going on here. And for me personally, this is really how I learned once I came into the bank, was by attending webinars of other programs. And I just think this is a great way for us to support each other in community banking. So I was excited to give back. So just a little bit about myself, and get this to work. I do have a family of 8. We have 4 kids, a cat and a puggle. Our kids are 17, 16, 11, and 6. So my husband and I, we're technically running our own youth savings program at home. So I feel like that qualifies me for sure. My favorite holiday is Halloween, but let's be honest, 4 kids, a career in banking, there's not a whole lot that scares me. However, I do enjoy it. So speaking of banking, I have been with the bank. Let's see if we go the right way. I've been with the bank since 2010. Our doors opened in 1954 when a group of local businessmen came together and decided to start a bank. They were looking to not only meet the banking needs of the community, but they were also looking to support growth and progress in Farmington. Then we were known as First State Bank, as you see in the photo. In the 90s, we added the word community to become FSCB, or better known as, when I give out my email address, Frank Sam Cat Boy. So over the last 65 years, we've had substantial growth from one branch with a dozen or so employees to now 52 locations with 700 employees. We have a financial management firm as well as an insurance agency. So through all that growth, the focus has always remained on supporting the growth and progress of the communities that we serve and the customers. So one of our longest standing traditions is our Junior Savers Club, which of course is what I'm here to talk about today. So the account we have is tied to, the club that we have is tied to a savings account like most programs. We do offer the account to be opened for as little as $1, and there's no minimum balance until age 18. While it's not a huge amount, the account is interest bearing, which gives us the opportunity to talk to the kids about how interest works and why it pays to save. So one of our benefits that the kids and parents like the most is our Cash for A's program. Kids bring in their report card each semester and they get $2 per A. So the cap is actually $10 per semester with a total of $20 in a school year. At account opening, our members do receive some welcome swag. Most of our branches like to give out the piggy bank, but we have lots to choose from depending on the age of the customer when they come in to open their account. We also have t-shirts. These t-shirts are custom. It's a custom design that we made to bring in the pig that we utilize, which I'll talk about a little later, kind of our mascot. And it's also an active shirt. So it has an activity on the back, and the maze is a real maze. And when we see kids wearing these, they're always, somebody's behind the other one trying to do the maze. So it's really fun. And our employees love to wear these shirts. They really stand out in a crowd whenever we're at a big event and you have 20 or so employees wearing the bright green shirt. It stands out really well. So one of the most important features of our club is really the dedicated club director that we have in each community. Most of our employees are very active in their community, so they know the local educators, they know the parents and the kids in the community. Without them, this product would just be another product, another savings account that we offer. So these club ambassadors are truly the key to the success of our program. The local directors plan events for the members. So these things vary from anything from a local, like an ice cream social, or maybe a bunny day. We have the Easter bunny in the branch and we have the families come in and take photos. We do the same thing with Santa. We also do movies in the park in some of our areas. And diaper derby is one that everybody kind of gets a kick out of. We do that here in Farmington. And the diaper derby is babies, anybody that's not walking under a year of age, that comes and they literally race. So we have a few heats and then we have the final heat to get the winner, and it's always a really good time and something that the community really enjoys. So we do lots of different events in the communities, not only for those that are members, but those that are just the community, so that they can come in and join and be new members. It's a way to attract them to our bank. In addition to our amazing directors, we also have an inflatable mascot pig. Her name varies by event. Sometimes she has a costume, sometimes she doesn't. So she's also very easy to find in a crowd, and the kids love taking photos with our pig. She stands somewhere between 8 feet and 9 feet, I think. And she's just about as wide as that as well. So she's big and draws a lot of attention. So our pig is actually from the app that we have. We have a Junior Savers app, and we partner with Kathleen and HT Mobile Apps to do this app. Whenever it first started, we did brand the app under the Banker Junior name, but recently we've rebranded it, and actually now it's our Junior Savers app. So if you'd like to play our app, you can go out to the App Store and simply type in FSCB to find it. The app is free. It's available for a phone or a tablet, and you don't have to be a member of our club to download and use the app. So the app is a game that has age-appropriate, the app has age-appropriate games to teach kids simple concepts related to money and savings, but it has so much more for the parents. As you can see here, there's the mom profile, so you can see the home page. We have options to assign chores. There's also lessons in there, and there's a resource tab. There's also an account link that is something that we're working on right now to offer to our members, where they can actually check the balance of their account. But the current system that we have does not allow for them to do that, but it's something that we're going to upgrade and allow later this year, hopefully. The game on the far right is actually the one that my daughter loves the most. It's called Candy Factory. It's a game where she has to identify the coins to get candy and money for her pig. So as she touches the coin in the game, it speaks the name of the coin. So as she touches the quarter, it says quarter. And you'll hear that in your mind if you play this enough whenever you think about coins. But I've seen kids as young as 2 learn to recognize their coins in like 30 minutes. It's amazing. And they're having a blast because they're just playing this game, but they're also learning about money. So we do have a video as well on our YouTube channel. If you want to check us out on YouTube, you can see 2 of our app fans and get an actual expert opinion about the app. Another way that we've advertised the app is a few years ago, we actually took the games in the app and brought them to life in our lobby. So this is one photo. I was having trouble finding photos, but you can kind of see to the right in the back, there's the bank there, and then there's the plane that's carrying a message. When you're in the app, that plane can carry a message across to your customers. So that is an example of what the app does. And obviously our pig was there to welcome everybody as they came in. So we had a lot of fun with that one. So this is what we basically offer to our younger Junior Savers members. I don't see the chat window. So Kathleen, I'm just going to check in real quick before I move on to see if we have any questions about what I covered so far.
Yeah, totally. Thanks so much. So first question we have is for Pay for Grades, you mentioned, and I know that that's a really popular program for FSCB. Did you guys create your own Pay for Grades program, or do you utilize an outside company for that?
That is our own. We do that internally. We're a Jack Henry bank, and so we do actually have that set up in our system to make it really easy for the tellers to be able to just key in the service credit, and then it actually goes straight to that proper GL, and we're able to track it in there.
Oh, awesome. So you worked with Jack Henry to get kind of like a field for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And it makes it really great for whenever you're trying to figure out, have we seen growth in that particular program for the individual branch? You can go in and see, did they pay out more this year? And that's it's a great program to draw in new members. We get a lot of new members just off of that piece.
For the Pay for Grades. The other question we have is, how do ambassadors get picked for your program? You mentioned in each market you have a youth ambassador, a Junior Savers ambassador. How do they get picked, and do they have like a term? How does that work?
That's a great question. Yeah, in the way our system and our network works, we do have 52 branches. We also have market presidents. So those market presidents might cover one branch. They might cover 3. So in those individual markets, they would be selecting their employees on their own. However, the Junior Savers piece is actually more of an additional duties. So sometimes it's a teller, sometimes it is a new accounts person, sometimes it's a branch manager that just has a passion for financial literacy and they want to do it. I do see these roles changing in the branches. Sometimes someone will be really into it while they have kids that age, and then once their kids get older, they might want to phase out and they'll, bring in someone new to take over. So it really is managed at the branch level. We provide a job description and an idea of what has worked in other areas for them to kind of jump off of.
Okay, great. One last question on the youth, and then I think you're going to roll into kind of some older kid stuff as well. And I can answer this one. What company developed the app for you?
Let's see. Yeah, it was Kathleen. It's HT Mobile Apps. And we've had the app up and going. I want to say we actually rolled it out in 2014. I think we started talking about it in 2013, but we've had it since 2014, and they consistently work on the app. So it's not one of those that the way it is today is the way it will always be. There are lessons in there. They've kind of revamped the way the savings is split out. It used to have another category for charity, and they realized that piece wasn't being used. So they're really paying attention and changing it as it goes. So we've had it now for, several years and have been very pleased with it.
Awesome. Great. So no more questions, but I'll keep tracking them for your next pause.
Okay, awesome. I just keep chugging along and, talking to myself. So I have to stop every once in a while. Okay, so as Kathleen mentioned, talking a little bit about the older kids, back in 2013, we were going through quite a few acquisitions. And when we looked at what our product offering was, we sat back and kind of talked through, we know what we have for what we refer to as Junior Savers. So we know what we have for the younger guys. But what do you do to capture and keep that relationship after they're through that young savings age range. So we added a checking product for our members who were ready to go beyond savings and who were ready to open a transactional account. We know that providing a savings account starts them on the right path, but we also knew that we needed to grow the relationship further before they aged out of the program at 18. So our student checking account is free, and it's no minimum balance for ages 15 all the way to 22. They receive a free online banking and mobile banking account, just like all of our standard checking accounts. So as far as metrics go, the number of accounts and deposit totals for the Junior Savers Club account is really what we look at. We do monitor the activity that we have in the app, and we also monitor our growth with the Cash for A's program. But with student checking, we're able to go much further. We can actually look into the usage and see what opportunities we have to increase the number of products we have with those account holders. We look at our entire youth savings program as the next generation of customers. And while the balances and the profit per account are low now, we know that the overall lifetime value of the customer is what we're focused on. So beyond the metrics, one of the most crucial elements to our program is something that, in my opinion, is worth more than any report we could provide. And that is our community outreach. So I love this photo because if the community were the barrel and FFCB were the monkeys, when you find one of us, you're going to find another one. We often get poked at in the community like, you guys are everywhere, which is a compliment. And even if it feels a little, a little bit poked, it's a compliment, and we're really proud to hear that. So one of the programs that we participate in faithfully, and we have over the years, is the ABA Teach Children to Save program. The ABA makes it really, really easy to participate, and they really provide everything you need from social tools all the way through to lesson plans. We have lots of resources for our bankers to use in the classroom. Obviously, they can utilize the app. I actually, at the end of my deck, I've got some links that you can go to of other places that we found information. But one of the games that we've utilized for many, many years is what we call our shopping game. We actually give the kids 4 nickels and tell them that we're going shopping. We bring a bag of goodies that they can't see what's inside, and with a creative pricing module and irresistible swag, we slowly lure the money away from the weak savers. If they save their money, they will be able to purchase the last and most irresistible item. If they didn't, they're usually left with like a money pencil, a sucker, and possibly some tears. And it does really go well to get the point across. And sometimes we do have some that save all of their nickels. So if we have anybody that saves all of their nickels, we also pay them out interest. So depending on if we remember to bring pennies, they'll get a penny in interest. If we forgot, they get a nickel. And usually there's some sort of comment from the teacher like, hey now, my money doesn't earn that much interest. So we have a lot of fun with this game.
Crystal, where did you guys find that game? Did you guys create it yourself, or did you find it online?
To be completely honest, I think we created it ourselves because I have not seen it the way that we do it. I haven't seen it in any of the tools that I've come across. So I believe we created it, but I can't swear to that because we've been around for a long time.
Would you be willing to share an overview with us so that when we send out the deck and the recording, we can give people kind of some samples of how it runs?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a script that everybody really makes fun of me for because I wrote a script a while back that says Sally Savings, like, hi, I'm Sally Savings, and then, hi, I'm Don Deposit. And it was meant to be like, insert your name here. But whenever some of my bankers came back that day, they were like, oh, the kids thought Sally Savings was so funny.
Okay, that's awesome. So everyone who's attending, we'll send out that. If Crystal's willing to share, whatever she's willing to share, we'll send out when we send out the follow-up email, so you can have it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll share that. You'll have a lot of fun with it.
Awesome.
So with April being Financial Literacy Month, we do encourage our branches to go out and participate in as many Teach Children to Save events as possible. 2 years ago, we actually decided to turn this into a challenge, and I partner with our compliance department and their CRA officer, and we kind of tag team this together and came up with this program. So as far as the branches in their competition, for every Teach Children to Save event that's completed, their branch is entered into a drawing for a $1,000 prize. The $1,000 can be awarded to any CRA qualified organization or charity. In 2018, we had a total of 280 service hours just in the month of April. We were able to reach 59 schools and had 107 employees that actually went out. So as I mentioned earlier, we have over 700 employees. Obviously, not everyone gets to go. And in the smaller branches with less than 10 sometimes, less than 5 employees even in those branches, they have to get really creative with their scheduling. So some of our branches schedule their event early in the morning so that they can go before maybe their branch doors open. And in our experience, the shopping game takes maximum 45 minutes. And that's really just if you have, an unruly class or they're just really excited. So sometimes it can take up to 45 minutes, but I've been in and out as little as, 25, 30 minutes before. So we're extremely blessed though here. When I talk about community outreach, it's really something that our executive management believes in and fully supports. So when we have to get creative with that scheduling and kind of move things around in April, that's completely supported from the top down, which makes it it makes it easier to do. So the winner obviously receives the $1,000 donation, but we also sent our videographer to capture the moment when they presented the check, and we're also able to post that on social media. Do you have any questions about that before I move on?
I don't see any questions yet, but just a reminder, please chat in if you do as we go. Good stuff.
So obviously in reality, we can't be in the school as often as we'd like. We really focus in April on getting out there, but really we need to be there as often as possible. So one of our ways of keeping in touch with the schools is through our Bonsai program. Bonsai is a real world live simulation that it exposes the kids in these teams to real life financial dilemmas. Outside of school, our program is available at fscb.learnbonsai.com, and we actually offer a library of content. So they can actually go on there, play the game if they want, go through the simulation, or they can just read up on things that are coming their way. So there's insurance advice, there is planning to purchase a home, talking about credit, and it's really just a wonderful source of financial literacy information. Our homeschooling parents, this also gives them an opportunity to maybe teach some of the things that they don't have the opportunity to get. They don't have a banker that can come in and do that for them. So this helps those homeschooling parents, but it can also be used by local organizations. I know that we've had Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts in here before that are working on their financial literacy badge or whatever they call it. And they can actually access the game on the site and go through this module and get that badge. So it's really helpful for them as well. So overall, our program provides kids with fun community events that take the fear and intimidation out of banking. I personally think that banking is really fun, and I want them to develop a relationship with us so that they know that they have somewhere to turn if they need help. The best thing, honestly, about our program for me is watching our members go from bowling parties to graduating high school, buying their first car, and even coming back and buying their first home from us. So we get to be part of that journey, and that's really why we do what we do. All right, let's open it back up for questions.
Yeah, so folks are wondering about the Bonsai website again. I think you have that in the deck, right?
It might be on the last slide. I'll have to check, but it's fscb.com, or sorry, fscb.learnbonsai.com. And if it's down in the slide deck, I'll add a link for you. So yeah, get out there and take a look. It is a program built for schools. It's similar to EverFi, if you're familiar with EverFi. And there's a whole teacher's module. There's a whole Bonsai manager that's online that they can go to, and it tracks the student's progress throughout. they'll take like a pre-assessment test to figure out where they are with their financial literacy. And all of those grades are logged right into that manager for the teacher. So it's really easy for the teacher. There's also support within there. And there is a community where they can talk to other teachers who are utilizing the software. It's branded. You'll see our debit card in there. You'll see the bank's name throughout the program. So it's really a great product. For me, the best part of it is really the real life simulation. If they make a selfish decision at one point in the game, they will pay for it later. So it's just like real life.
Yeah. So Bonsai does the relationship with the schools for you, but you mentioned how many schools you all go into. Do you have best practices for getting into schools? Is it talking to principals? Is it developing relationships with teachers? How's the best way to kind of engage schools? Because you guys are across so many different markets. Are there any best practices?
Yeah, I think it varies per market for us. In most cases, the folks that work for First State are so woven into the community that they already have those contacts naturally. And so there is a part of it that's just who we are. We're part of the community in our own personal lives. So we're able to benefit from that in our banking life. And so that's what we would like to do in most cases. But in some cases, if you really don't have those ties to the school, one of the things that we do is in some of our markets, we reach out and maybe ask if there's anything we can do to help with, like maybe they're having a teacher's planning day. Could we provide a meal for that or snacks for that? Is there a need in the sports section? Like, is there a booster club that we could help out? Could we provide some promotional products for that to help you out? I think through our donations, that's also another place to build relationships, because sometimes they're calling us asking for funds. And so you just try to keep up with that relationship and say, okay, is there anything else I can do for you? Maybe it's something that's not monetary that you haven't thought of. During the end of school year, like summertime, when it comes to field trips, we love to do field trips. Kids think that the bank is just so cool. And if they get to go behind the teller line and look at our vault where they think, all the money for the whole entire world is stored. So we try to offer that to the local teachers as well, which you can do through email. You can stop by the school and drop off flyers, and just try to use those resources whenever you have contact with someone. Just make sure you're always offering something, offering what you can do for them.
What about, can you talk a little bit about organizational structure, like where you sit in the organization, who owns the Junior Saver Club? Is it retail? Is it marketing at FSCB?
Yeah, so I would say it's a combined effort with retail and marketing from a strategic direction in managing the product itself. They maybe work more on the actual product management side and the Jack Henry and all of the functionality of it. And then the marketing department, which is where I am, we take on the strategic direction and try to provide as much resources and best practices and help to those local branches, to those folks that are driving the program in their own community. We try to provide resources, but what we don't do is say, in order for your club to be successful, you have to do this event, you have to send out this flyer, you have to do this ad. So we don't do that, because we believe that the folks that are in the local community know what their community will respond to, and they know what will be successful in their market. So we're really here to provide support and resources.
All right, I think that's all the questions so far, but people, last call if you want to chat in, and Crystal, if you want to just keep rolling, I'll let you know if any come in.
Okay, awesome. So I just have a quick recap. If you don't have a youth savings program, I encourage you to start one. If you're also not a member of the ABA or your state banking association, go out and join those. They're huge, huge resources for you. Find partners. Partners are something for the last 2 years, we've really been focusing more and more on and getting new partners. So find partners like HT Mobile Apps and Bonsai that do all this research and have all these wonderful tools that really you can utilize and not have to recreate the wheel. Support your community. I can't stress that enough. I think being a part of your community will take your program a long ways. It will give you those contacts and that into the school. If you don't have if you don't have someone in the school that you're already familiar with, that's the way that you get in, is really just being a beacon in your community and being there for everyone. So everything that we do, I feel, with the youth savings program changes lives. So don't think of it as another product or a kids club. It's really at the root of it. We're changing their lives by making banking fun and by showing them that it's not intimidating and that we're here for everyone and that we're a resource to them and can be throughout their lives. And then just resources. So the Giant Pig, I get a lot of questions about the Giant Pig. So that's the company that actually did that for us. So if you click that link, when you get the slide deck, you can go there and order your own pig. And then I've just got a few more. What was the one that I was going to check and see if I had?
The Bonsai, and it looks like it's on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bonsai's on there.
Perfect.
Secret Millionaires Club is super fun. If you want to, if you really want something that's pre-packaged, and let's see if I can just click on it. Pre-packaged, ready to go, super fun. It's got some video content if you're in a room where you can use their smart board, which the kids are really used to. This is just super fun. Check this one out. They have episodes, and these characters kind of evolve throughout the different webisodes. So it's something that you can use once. If you're going into the school multiple times throughout the year, you can kind of do a series, but it's all prepackaged, and it has like the lesson plan with every video, and it has an activity with every video. So it's a lot of fun.
Great. One more question that came in. How do you keep your market ambassadors engaged? I mean, you mentioned it comes from the top down, but how do you keep them engaged and get them ready? Do you do regular meetings, or how do you keep that group going and excited?
Yeah, so we have done a variety of things over the years. We've had regularly scheduled calls. We used to have in-person meetings. As we grow and as our schedules get busier and busier, it's harder to do that. So we do have an intranet that we push content out through, and we're able to communicate about specific programs that are coming up. I'll be pushing out Teach Children to Save Day, and Lights, Camera, Action is another thing that ABA does, and we'll push content out to them that way. The other way that we do it, we have what we refer to as a marketing insights call every other month. And folks from the branch, whether they're doing Junior Savers or our other club, which is Horizons Club for 50 and better, those folks and anyone who does advertising and marketing at their branch level come on to that call, and our marketing department will give them information there as well.
That's great. Well, Crystal, I cannot thank you enough for sharing all of this information and taking the time to do this. We really, really appreciate you taking the time out from your busy schedule to present this information. Everyone on the call, I will send out a follow-up with Crystal's contact, my contact, as well as the recording and the deck. And if you think of any questions post, I know that we'd be happy to answer them as we all prepare for HTMA's favorite holiday, which is April's Finlit month. All right.
That's awesome.
Crystal, thank you so much. And everyone, thank you for your time today, and we'll get you more information.
Thanks for having me, Kathleen.